Just Crew here. Welcome to the Just Crew Show. Today is Thursday, February the 18th, 2021. We're here to talk about winter storm that hit Texas about couple of days ago, and people are left homeless. Power outages. 4 million people, man. 4 million people have lost power in Texas. And a lot power lines were down, trees are down. I mean, it has been destroyed. It has been the most blackouts ever in Texas since when they had a winter storm this past Sunday and Monday, and it's just a mess. Icicles and inside our homes, just a mess. It's like 10 degrees outside, and it just continued. It did happen last week was a 150 car wreck in interstate, and then this, and it's just unbelievable. It's devastating. 33 people died, and a lot of stuff is just. We've seen some frustrated people in Texas. We have seen more of it. The power, they were out there. People were out of power for 4 days. For 3 days, several days, they were out of power. There was no water. There was no food. There was no heat. Everything. People struggling to stay warm. They were struggling to stay warm. Last Saturday, we heard about Henderson, North Carolina, out of power. This can't be real. This can't be normal. And this is all about that we're continuing this wintry weather that I've ever seen in my whole damn life. We're all in an attack. People didn't go to the grocery store. People didn't check out credit cards and doing all this and that. This is terrible. This is a terrible situation in the state of Texas. In Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, Law Native, they were all out of power. And they were having out of power for 3 days and several days. And they do have food, but then look, it's all the winter well. The winter invasion crossing the heart of Texas, deep in the heart of Texas. Deep in the heart of Texas. What can you do? What can you do? Stay in the car when it's warm. And inside when it's warm. Well, look. There's a global warming out there. They talk about climate change. They talk about this whole this mess going on here and going on here and this and that. This is not what we want to see and not what we want to be. But this is the winter mist. This is the winter storm law. A windstorm had just just blew it hit Texas. Then today it hit North Carolina and Virginia today. Today we had ice, we had rain, and we had the mess going on around. But the power didn't go out today, and in Greensboro and Henderson and this is people. The Duke Energy Power and the assets. They need concern. That's what we need. People have to be happy that the power don't run out. So now we're going to go for this one first and make sure that we're gonna go to Everything in Texas, and uh, right now, hearts go out to everybody who don't have power, and the lives are lost here today. And this stuff is continuing every single time. People are trying to stay in war in Texas. And here's what happened and what went wrong. It just said for this and that the people, for everybody in Texas watching at home, for everybody in on the news, it was on the news for a couple of weeks. In a couple of weeks now, it is on the news. We'll go to CNN now, and it says the widespread power outages in Texas improved overnight even as they caused serious, considering issues with the state's supply of heating, water, food, and medicine. Power was still down for about 390,000 Texas customers as of Thursday afternoon, well below the over 3 billion outages a day early. According to PowerOutages.us, the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, which operates the state's power grid, well, saying statement Thursday morning it had made satisfying progress, restoring power overnight. Still, the windstorm and ongoing cold will affect the system's power generation, and water analysis may be needed over the next couple of days, the company said. Earnhardt officials also said Thursday that power grid was seconds or minutes away from catastrophic failure and a complete blackout if not for controlling outages implying early Monday. The comments come as freezing temperatures are forecasted again for Thursday, extending an already exaggerated period. More than 22 million people across hard-hit certain states are under a hard freezing warning, indicating that temperatures will be so cold it could lead to future water line breaks. Temperatures are set to rise Friday, although icing on bridges and overpass will remain a threat until next Sunday into Monday. In the meantime, electricity storage has battled into a carbon food, water, and health crisis since last Thursday. 16 Texans had died from weather-related circumstances. Some 13.5 million people are facing water disputes, including millions under boil water notice. But how can you boil water without heating it? Now, the message story is number one, the power is figured because of the impacts throughout, and number two, we now have water issues. Harris County Judge Lynn Holland told CNN hospitals had issues and we had water pressure issues. We have water pressure issues. We're on boil water noise, and folks are having trouble accessing food. Some have taken to dangerous heating methods, such as gathering around no stove or grill. The Houston Fire Department has responded to 56 structures fires and over 100 cars related to carbon monoxide poisoning, Chief Sam Penner said. Importantly, outside of Corpus Christi, Brenna Blake told CNN on Wednesday yesterday that she and her husband kept their children warm by boiling household items, including artwork and fencing, as they dealt with 36 hours with no heat. I just started kind of grabbing my cranberries off the wall and breaking them and throwing them into the fire, she said. 7 full days with no power or heating had led to serious water issues, frozen and bus poppers, the unbalanced water treatment plants, and a lack of water pressure. Nearly 7 million Texans were under bottled water noise Wednesday, according to Texas Commissioner of Environment Quality Commissioner Toby Baker in Austin. Authorities issued a citywide bottled water notice after the dropping water pressure at a treatment plant Wednesday night. Houston meteorologist Western Houston meteorologist Baytown hospitals are still operating without water Thursday afternoon, according to Houston meteorologist Public Relations Manager Gail Smith. They're being created from trucking water in for consumer to colonize rainwater to use for flushing toilets, Smith told CNN. Now, how you can help the Texas storm victims? Well, Fort Hood City leaders asked residents to consider 40% of their water during the storm due to the water inline breaks and suspicious flooding. The widow in southwest Texas along the border with Mexico put out an ominous message late Wednesday to residents asking them not to flush their toilets or release any wastewater into the sewer system. Smaller further, a crushed predator and she and others may have to lose mouths of snow for drinking water, but they're boiling water runs out. We didn't appreciate, and then they said we didn't appreciate the water to be shut off. But once it did, we assured a worst case scenario type of thing and just grabbing the snow off the balcony and put into kettles and pots to use for drinking water in case we don't get water back anytime soon. President said, if the power outage is any indicator of how long that be, then we're all going to be boiling snow for a while. The outage has also led to food installations as Texas scrambling for needed supplies and scrambling for a hot meal. Grocery stores are already unable to get shipments of dairy products. Store sleeves are already empty. Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller said, we're looking at a food supply chain problem like we've never seen before, even with COVID-19. Felix Shelley, a resident of Fort Worth, told CNN that he, his wife Amber, and 11-month-old daughter, Eva, are struggling to stay warm and fed. Amber is pregnant and due April 4th. Eva is down to have a chloroformer, Shelley said. Stores are out if not extremely low on food. Most of our food in a refrigerator is spoiled. Freezer food is close to due, but we had no way to heat it up. The widespread outages stem from a water disaster company with an unprotected infrastructure. A well-weather system brought usually refrigerating temperatures to months of the central U.S. over the past 3 days. The deep freeze causes demand for power and heating to skyrocket even as it knocked out Texas natural gas, coal, wind, and nuclear factories, which were not ready to function in such cold weather. The storm has caused serious outages across the country, including Louisiana, Mississippi, and Kentucky, but the outages were most severe in Texas because the state runs on its own electric grid, equally under 24 federal regulations, and cannot easily borrow power from other states. The lack of renewable characteristic has long been an issue of Earnhardt's power system. 10 years ago, a bill cost over 3.2 million Earnhardt customers to lose power during Super Bowl week. A 350-page federal report on the outages found that the power generators, laser producers, were either equalizing or were not equally fault. As with any sector affair, the blame is spreading far and wide. Members of the Federal Energy Regulation Commission said they will partner with North American Evaluation Reliability Corporation, an undefined organization, to investigate the felons. Governor Greg Abbott said Wednesday afternoon that an investigation of Earnhardt is scheduled to begin next week. Abbott, former Governor Rick Perry, and the Lone Star State's Republican leaders are in turn facing heated questions over the miserable claim about renewable energy and why they didn't act to protect the electric grid given the clear warnings. U.S. said Senator Ted Cruz, meanwhile, flew with his family from Houston to Crudup, Mexico on Wednesday. We have learned really in a tragic way that Earnhardt and the still had that the ERCOT and the state had not prepared to have enough backup power to have electric power simply to face the historic weather that we already know was coming. That shows frustrating for Texas. Look, it's really frustrating. When you don't have power, you had nowhere to do. You had nothing to do. This is an out of control winter storm that we just witnessed, and it's not going to go well in Texas at all. It is not going to go well in Texas at all. I can remember that for well. What are people are going to do in this terrible time? Next week, when the sun comes out, gonna be 60 and 70 degrees out here. When the sun comes out and the temperatures go up in the upper 60s and in the low 70s, then people are gonna be happy with all they going through. They're gonna be very happy. And just when you know when the snow melts next week, when the snow melts in Texas next week, guess what? That's what's going on. That's what we're about to see. A miracle. Miracles will happen. Happiness will happen. But we're still thinking about it. And talk about Houston, Texas. Tomorrow will be 45 in the mid 40s. Then on Saturday it's gonna be in the upper 50s. On Houston, Texas, it's going to be 57 degrees on Saturday. Sunday in the upper 60s. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, a warm day here in Texas. It's going to be off the hook. But now we talk about North Carolina. What is happening in North Carolina well today? Well, we do have ice and we do have rain. Sleet, freezing rain. And they said about him, the weather has been affected until 7 a.m. in the morning tomorrow. And take a look at this. In storing that ice, the windstorm warning in North Carolina. After the for next 14 hours, National Weather Service and it says, a community threat. Now, 2 hours ago, like we said, a continuing threat of ice mailing along and north of Interstate 85 Crudup through early Friday. Consurface high pressure will linger from the New England states south into the Pomona of North Carolina tonight. This will combine with a low pressure system to bring interdimensional icing, especially in the NC, VA, Boulder, countries, through early Friday, and the winter storm warning remains in effect until 7 a.m. Eastern Friday. What? Sacrificing accepted icing is set for freezing rain. International ice conditions are up to a 1/4 inch is set. Stone told icing incriminations and according to a door of the ends possible. Well, Bovado on the Northern Panama and when until 7 a.m. Eastern Friday, and the impacts going to numerous power outages are likely, along with some tree damages, some hazards travel may development, especially during the nighttime hours. And yes, and now look, now, in addition to details of the case of freezing rain and freezing diesel will likely persist through early May. Most of the interditional ice will cool or irregular surface as temperatures hover around 31 or 32 degrees. Some icing on Maryland bridges overpass may develop, especially later tonight as temperature falls to around 30 degrees. And booking manual actions and says if you must travel, keep an instant flashlight, food, and water in. Low vehicle in case of an emergency, prepare for possible power outages. The latest world conditions for North Carolina can be operated by visit driving nc.gov. So, well, I know it's daytime for us and it turns in tonight. Just don't drive. Just be careful. Or don't drive at all. Don't drive at all today because there's ice on the road. Although early this morning we do have those ices on the trees, but that didn't fall. No damaging on that. And I didn't see ice on the power lines at all. Really, but I saw ice on the trees. So much damage going on here. But yes, it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. And all I'm saying is for real. The storm is now over. It's not over. No, it's not. The winter storm, this stuff is not over. It's going to continue. And it's going to go to those. We're going to have snow up there. They're going to have snow in there in New York. I had cousins over there. They're going to have see some snow up there in New York, Pennsylvania, Boston, New England. And so they're going to be getting a lot of snow. With 1 to 3 inches. 1 to 3 inches of snow. So people have to be waiting for it. And yes, it is. And first, ladies and gentlemen, the hearts goes out for the people in Texas and those who don't have power. Well, they're gonna have to wait. It's gonna be a long week. It's gonna be a long. It will be a long time for real. Yes. Now, you all know yesterday morning, Rush Limbaugh that lesson. The Rush Limbaugh that lesson on the car has passed away yesterday morning at the age of 70 after give up cancer. He had cancer the last time. And he was in stage 3 and stage 4. I can never tell. But Rush Limbaugh was an icon. He talked about Barack Obama and you know, and also he was a friend of Donald Trump, and he wanted Donald Trump to win. And he talked about the election is starting for him, and that's why that lesson I really like him. He's a very fun guy. He's an icon. He was a widow. He was when he started back in the late '80s, and that's why he had cancer. He passed away back in that was yesterday. While on the radio, when I got on the car on the radio, I turned the music. I was like, "What? Where's Rush Limbaugh?" And people say and I keep saying to myself, "Oh my God, Rush Limbaugh passed away yesterday after the age of 70." He's in God's hands right now. He's in heaven, and God bless. Our hearts goes out to Limbaugh family, and this is a sad one for the Limbaugh family, but hearts goes out to them as well. Okay, today, folks, today, February the 18th, 2021, 20 years ago, Dale Earnhardt, yes, the man I'm talking about, the legend, Dale Earnhardt, who won the Daytona 500 in 1998, that was February the 15th, 1998, 20 years ago today, 20 years ago today, we have lost the legend of a lifetime, the Centennial, Dale Earnhardt, the guy who was running behind the wheels. Dale Earnhardt Jr., his son, and Michael Waltrip on the final lap of the race. You know who's going to make the lead, and then somehow it goes. He was running guard when this happened. I was in my granddaddy's house, my grandma's house. I was in my granddaddy and grandma's house. And then this happened while watching when I was about 16 years old. When I came out the door torn, it was nothing. This happened. Boom, right in front of my eyes. Right between the eyes. Dale Earnhardt's car was wrecked. Head on. Head first into the wall. With Ken Schrader. Michael Waltrip won the winner race, his first time winner in 2001, and his first Daytona 500 win in 2001. When he got into victory, and his brother Darrell Waltrip was watching when he had tears in his eyes. He can't believe his brother did it. After he was in the victory lane, he won it. He was so special. His brother Dale won the Daytona 500 in 1989. 12 years later, Michael Waltrip did. And then after that, they did on the interview. After it was all over with, Ken Schrader went on to Dale Waltrip. Ken Schrader went on to talk to Michael Waltrip and said, not good. And I was just learning about Dale Earnhardt. Oh my goodness. We lost Dale. And everybody was crying. Everybody was crying. And I was so shocked to hear about the legendary Dale Earnhardt. But he was a good guy. He was a great guy. He won 76 wins. He had 76 wins, 7 championships, tied with Richard Petty. And it was really my moment that Dale Earnhardt, the number 3 car, his last win in Talladega in 2000. And it was great, but it was a tragedy moment here 20 years ago today. 20 years ago. And I was so, very shocking to me. But Dale Earnhardt is the Daytona 500 champion in 1998. 7 NASCAR Cup wins. And that's all I had to end. That's the way I had to end the interview on the Joseph Crudup Network. I had to end this. So tune in on Joseph Crudup. I'm going to learn more about this tomorrow and more updates on the Texas tomorrow, everybody. Until then, see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.